Hey there! Every month, Annie has a call with our Path 365 members and answers their questions. She tackles a wide range of topics from what to do with big emotions, what kinds of tips and advice she has for addressing difficult situations, how to deal with cravings, and so much more. Listen in as she does some real-life coaching for our Path members.
I realized one of my triggers is my lack of boundary setting with my adult son. How do you get rid of the feeling of guilt when it comes to setting boundaries with family?
So the two things that I think are so vital and so useful. First of all, I just want to say congratulations, because I think not responding is beautiful. I think it's a really good thing. And when you feel those feelings of guilt, train your brain, start to notice that that is a celebration. Because in relationship, guilt is totally manageable. It doesn't feel good, but it's totally manageable. And it will diminish over time. An honest no is really loving. Like an honest response is really loving. And I know you didn't say no, you just didn't respond, but we feel guilty because we've been patterned. We should be available to everybody, especially our children, right? We should, like last night, my 14-year-old was having a really hard time and he was struggling. And I tried to talk to him. He didn't want to talk. So then I kind of was like, okay, well, I'm just going to ignore him. And then I felt guilty. So I went back and tried to talk to him. He still didn't want to talk. And then I felt guilty for it. And it's like, just so funny how that happens in our brain, right? But the reality is that guilt can create and does not ever destroy the love between two people. On the other hand, if you would have responded, if you do allow him to just, if you put yourself on the back burner and you let him, you're going to feel the opposite, it's not the opposite, but you're going to feel the other thing that you could feel in this dynamic, and that's resentment. And it is almost impossible to love somebody you start to resent. Resentment destroys relationships, even with our kids, even with our parents, and then we'll feel guilt and resentment because we feel like, how can I not feel like affectionate towards this person? So now I feel guilt and resentment. So use it as if you feel a little guilty, you're doing the right things. Because guilt means that you are standing up for yourself, but not in a way that's and then in order to make sure that's not like you're cutting off, you're keeping them at arm's length. And again, that Extraordinary Relationships book, I recommend that to you too. I recommend it to everybody, but understand, doesn't always make a boundary with the intention behind the boundary being love and connection. And if you're really honest with yourself, without all the noise in your head, without all the drama, without all the pleasing, the way to most be loving and connected to your son is to say no to him sometimes and to have your space sometimes. And that's true. And so don't make a boundary from protecting yourself from him, but make a boundary from a place and a space of love and connection. And that can and will result in guilt. And then that's okay. Guilt is just an emotion like any other emotion. It's one you just get to process. And that if you've made that boundary from a place of love and connection, knowing that you will love him more when you get to see him, if he isn't all up in your business all the time. If you do that, you've prioritized the relationship, and then you have nothing to feel guilty about.
Thank you so much for listening to this episode. If you're ready to see how This Naked Mind can help you on your personal health and wellness journey and want to learn more, go to thisnakedmindpodcast.com to learn what your next best step is. Again, that's thisnakedmindpodcast.com. We have all of our free resources, programs, social links, and more available for you there. Plus, if you have your own naked life story to share, you can submit it there as well. Until next week, stay curious.